What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sound Lodge Podcast, also known as the Slodge Podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome back to this Slodge Fest.
The Slodge Fest, that's what it is.
We just had a quick conversation before this episode, and we were thinking, should we make another name for y'all? And
No.
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 We're
You're the Slodgers. It sounds like kind of gross. And
sounds
we
kind
love
of
it.
gross, a little sexual, but
A little weird. You don't really know what it means, but that's all right.
I
fits.
feel like at some point there will be a hat that says, keep it slodging.
Yeah, keep slodging.
Keep slodging.
I hope everybody's been slodging since last week. This is episode 18, which is 1/4.
Are we going to do this every episode?
No, I'm not going to do it anymore.
I had to stab it in the heart right there. I couldn't let it keep
I
going.
actually don't even know what it's 1/4 of, so
18.
it's actually good that you 36 72. 1/4 of 72. So 72 is going to be a big episode.
Huge episode for y'all.
Watch
Stay
out for
tuned,
that
guys. When we slodging in that episode.
Yeah, we're going to slodge it up. The show.
Guys, first sponsorship of the podcast, Bucky
And Cabela's, actually.
Cabela's.
We got some big sponsorships. Hey, if anybody's watching this that wants to sponsor our podcast, go ahead and do it.
For real.
Go ahead and hit us up. Send us an email or a fax on our fax machine.
Sometimes we say some pretty weird stuff, so you better be chill with it.
Yeah, you better be chill with us being all weird and crazy. That's our email to somebody who sends us a sponsorship opportunity. You better be chill with us being all weird and crazy.
And then in parentheses, wiggling fingers.
Yeah. They would blacklist us, I think, from any other sponsorship opportunities.
Oh, man.
So yeah, if anybody wants to sponsor us, like G Fuel. Perfect sponsorship for us.
We just have a massive thing of G Fuel behind us.
Yeah. Just a huge tub of G Fuel.
Whenever I think of G Fuel, I think of PewDiePie.
Yeah. He's got his own little G Fuel thing.
He's
I
always talking
think of gamers,
Mhm.
and I also think of like gamers who have YouTube channels with like sub 1,000 subscribers, because I think they have one of those like affiliate programs where you just sign up, and so like everybody's like, yeah, I'm sponsored by G Fuel. It's like, no, you just signed up for their fucking program, dude. Like, I could sign up for their program. My grandmother could sign up for their program.
Yeah. I think that's always funny. Because I don't get a lot, but I get a good amount of sponsorships from like very small companies that I'm like, I'm not going to make a video about y'all.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like, we don't have a budget for this, but we do have an affiliate program.
Yeah.
If any of your fans buy this like super niche product, we'll give you 10% of the profit.
If any of your fans buy this $150 plugin that looks like shit, we'll give you, 5% of every
Can
sale.
you make a dedicated review? We'll
Yeah.
give you the $10 plugin.
Yeah. I just get emails from Chinese companies wanting me to try out sex toys.
Yep. This is not a joke, guys.
That's a real email that I received. They were like, hey, we'll send you a free sample to do in your music tutorial videos. I was like, no, thanks, actually. I think I'll pass on that. Not sure if that's really the demographic you're looking for, but hey,
Haven't you received 2?
Yeah. I've received that other one from that company that wanted me to like read off like smut stuff.
Oh, dude. At some point, the first one, random.
Yeah.
If you get a third one, I think
I'm like signed up on some list or something somewhere.
freaky YouTubers.
Yeah. There's just a dark web list of freaky YouTubers. Yeah. If there's any sponsors out there that want to sponsor the Slodge podcast, hit us up. Let us know. What's been going on the past week?
You finished your album? We already talked about that last episode.
We did talk about that. Yeah. And actually, that should be coming out. That should be out by the time you're watching
this Friday.
Yeah.
Dude, we need to go crazy this Friday.
Yeah.
We need to blow something up.
Yeah, we can blow something up.
Blow the house up.
Yeah, but yeah, your mom was just over like, well, the house is still standing, so that means we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
This is the time.
This is the time.
We plant a bunch of C4 around each of the, like stable points of the house and then blow it up.
I saw someone commented, you should do a live stream when your album drops. Are you going to do that?
I think I might, yeah. It'd be pretty fun. I'm actually doing What I think I'm gonna do for sure. I don't know if I'll full on live stream, but I want to premiere the visualizer like before the album comes out.
You have a visualizer that's like 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
all the songs.
Yeah, it's like 26 minutes long, and it's just camcorder footage.
That's awesome.
And it's the camcorder footage that goes with each of the songs. So like all of the little clips where people are saying shit, it has the clip playing over it, so you get to see like what those moments were from, which is pretty cool. And then also I try to make it to where the camcorder clips like were applicable to the song too. So like some of them I didn't have as much camcorder footage as I would have liked, but it just, and like some of them just loop over and over kind of, but it's a pretty cool little video. It's got some little like film grain effects and shit on it. So it took about 2 hours to export, and then I realized there was something wrong with it, so I needed to export it again. So I did the thing where like, cause it was like 11 o'clock at night, I did the thing where I like set an alarm for like an hour and a half, went to sleep because I was just so tired, and then I woke up, like exited out of it, and then just went to sleep again.
You did that because you're not dropping that until the album drops.
No, that's been done.
So why didn't you just go to sleep?
I just wasn't gonna, like I was working on, I had it exported already, and then I realized that I don't remember what was wrong with it. I'm trying to remember, but I literally can't remember what was wrong with it, but something was wrong with it that was bothering me enough to where I had to change it.
Yeah.
And because I had already exported it and I was like gonna be done with it, and I wanted to upload it the next day just because I was on track to do that, I was just like, I just am gonna just do it now. And so I did it. It wasn't really a big deal. I slept normally, but it was just another hour that I had to wait.
Dude, on my album documentary video, it was like, it's like 38 minutes long, and it took like 5 hours or something to export. It took so long to export, and because it's also 4K,
right?
And I watched it, and I got to like the 40-minute mark, or not the 40. I got to like the 30-minute mark. So like at the very end of the video, and I was like, there are no mistakes. Yeah, and I was super excited. And then at one point, I show my phone, and it says like my boss's name, and he's talking about work, and he says something. I'm like, I don't really want anybody to know where I work.
That's what it was. I had my license plate in the video, and I was like, shit. I meant to blur the license plate, but it was at the beginning of the video.
Was that the only mistake?
Yeah, that was the only mistake, as far as I knew. But yeah, it was just that one thing, and I was like, I have blurred my license plate every other time that I posted something with my car. So like, I just need, for like congruency's sake or consistency's sake, whatever, I need to blur the license plate.
Yeah.
And it's just good practice anyways. So like, I had to go back and do that.
What I did though, I didn't re-export. Because I was like,
did you pull it back in and then?
No, I just uploaded it to YouTube, and I did YouTube's blur.
Oh yeah,
which you can do that.
I probably
it looks weird.
That. Yeah,
because it's like you can't like rotate it, because like my phone was like this.
Yeah,
but you can only do like 90-degree squares and stuff, so it looks janky. But I was able to. I don't think I blurred it. I think I just cropped it. I cropped the video. That's what I did.
Honestly, I didn't even pick up on it at all in the video. So like, it was never.
Yeah, no, I cropped it to where like it felt a little smooth, but
that's
Yeah, but I was so mad. I was like, dude, one mistake. It's always just like one little mistake, and then you have the internal debate of,
should I do it again?
Yeah, how much of a perfectionist am I? I'm trying to practice not doing this, and then next thing you know, you're just in the editor.
Yeah, exactly. For me, all the times that's really happened, mostly, it's been like something I can't even control, where like the editor will just kind of like fuck up in the encoding process, and there's like a really loud, like really sharp, like audio thing that goes wrong, or like there's just like a white like flash at one point in the video, and it's like, I'm gonna have to re-export the whole thing again, and then probably that same thing is just gonna happen somewhere else in the video, or there'll be like an audio dropout or like something like that. So the majority of the time, it's something like that that's really small that I can't even control. Yeah. But every once in a while, I've watched a couple of my old tutorials, and so I record my face cam separately from my the background. There'll be a couple times when my face cam is still small when I meant to make it full screen, and then it's just a small face cam, black screen, me talking, and that's just the most annoying thing ever, because I see that, and to me, it's like, this is just so obviously a mistake. And I'm sure to other people, it's like, this is obviously a mistake too. But it's not as big a deal as like that. Like, no one would notice that. Like, the thing isn't blurred out.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is, even if it's a blatant mistake like that, people don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was funny, because when I first started making tutorials, and all of the, tutorials were awful, and I was making the worst music, I was still like that.
Yeah.
So like all of those videos, they're not the best quality because I didn't export at 4K, and I was using a very old like PC laptop, but I was still, to my best ability, I was like doing the same thing, to where like sometimes I'd export it 3 times,
right?
Because I'd have to fix 3 different mistakes. And it's funny looking back at those videos and seeing how awful the quality is, and thinking to myself, like, I probably spent multiple hours just redoing mistakes when the video looks this bad.
Yeah, which is, it's funny to that point. Like, in the start of my video, for the album, I talk about like my first tutorial and stuff, and I downloaded the first tutorial. It's like me with a $20 Amazon mic just in my room. There's like super loud computer fan noise, and it just sounds super tinny. And it's like, that video got 200,000 views or whatever, and I'm over here worried about like, like the audio dropouts on this one 28 mark on the video. It's like, it just goes to show that the majority of people just don't give a shit. And also the thing is too, because this reminded me of that. So when I was doing all the album stuff, I was kind of looking at people whose albums I liked, and like artists that I liked, to kind of do like inspiration for the promotion and all the other stuff. And on some of Far Caspian's post for his most recent album, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of mistakes if you listen closely on the album." And to me, I'm like, I don't hear any mistakes, dude. Like I would never be able to hear that because I don't know how it's supposed to sound.
Exactly.
You're only gonna notice the mistakes if you have the vision of how it's supposed to sound. So that's why you're the only person probably on earth who's gonna know that it's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Like with his music, we notice like there's breathing in the guitar recording, or like there's this like, you hear these footsteps in the back. Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, I notice those, but I don't see them as mistakes.
Right.
Sometimes I see them as like, this makes this song so much better because it feels so much more real. Yeah. But to him, he wants to replace those. Like the Exit Signs song I just showed you, in the bridge leading into the last chorus, when it's just me and the guitar, and I want it to sound super intimate. You can hear when I'm strumming guitar, you can hear I like breathe out of my nose, and it's like very whistly. Yeah. And I breathe like 3 times, and it sounds a little bit weird. And it took me like an hour it didn't take me an hour, but it took me a while to like duplicate some section of the guitar to move it over to replace it. Yeah. So I took it out, but I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe that might have been better to leave it in. Yeah. But to me, it was just such a thing that I noticed. I'm like, that's my nose making this weird sound. I want to take it out. Yeah.
I eventually just kind of stopped giving a shit about that because every single guitar recording I've ever done has me breathing on it. Like, you can just hear me. For some reason, I breathe like I just ran a fucking marathon. Dude, every time I record guitar.
Yeah, because I'm the same way. I record it, I'm like, that was great. And then I listen back to it, and it's just
I'm just into the microphone, and it's just the most annoying thing ever. But eventually I was just like, okay,
well, it's the worst when like your nose hairs like somehow tune the air out of your nose, and it makes a note to where it's not just like it's not just like a regular nose breathing. It's like or it's like whistling.
A lot of mine is like, it's more like inhales. Like I like deep inhale so that I'm like, and so you hear that like the inhaling over the guitar, and a lot of times it'll be like before I start playing because I'm like trying to compose myself to like record the guitar, and then it just, you can hear me like heavy breathing into the microphone.
I think solution, scuba mask.
Yeah.
And then the breathing's just up there.
Yeah, you just sound like Darth Vader. Yeah. Yeah, dude. To actually, to the point of the Far Caspian thing, there is one Somo song, the song called Anything.
I love that song.
There is one little part that always bothers me, and it's when the drums cut out at one part in the song, you hear like a millisecond of the kick on the one beat.
A click.
Yeah, it's almost not even a click. It's just like of like that kick about to play, and then it stops. Yeah. And I've always heard that, and I've been like, that's gonna bother me forever. Yeah. But I love that song so much. That's like one of my favorite songs ever.
Kind of hate that you just told me that.
Yeah, and now you're gonna hear it the next time.
I'm gonna hear it. Every time.
It's gonna bother you. Yeah, a shit ton. Actually, I noticed that there was a click on when I was going back and messing with the other songs that I'd uploaded. There was a click on hiatus, and I had not even noticed it. Really? And it was so prevalent, and it bothered me so much that I had never noticed that.
That's so weird. Because like, how many times did you listen to it before you uploaded it?
So much, like an unbelievable amount. I guess it was like that one specific moment I had skipped over or something. But even then, like I feel like I wouldn't have skipped over that. But when you have, especially when you have 8 songs, I was thinking about this. Like, there's gonna be like some mistakes and some parts that I messed up, and I hear again. I'm like, I should have fixed that. But at the end of the day, it's all about just getting music out there.
Also, it's like just listening to the song over and over again.
Yeah.
Because we start from writing to recording to producing to mixing to mastering.
Yeah.
And most people, like, it's just an engineer who's just there for mixing and mastering.
Right.
So he doesn't have to listen to it for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
just writing and recording, and then you're out of the studio, and that's just a few days.
Right. And also, like, if he hears something that was, wrong in the recording process, he can just say that, and then they, fix that all stuff. And also, like, because there's kind of like checks and balances essentially with different people involved in a project. But like when it's just like you doing a song or like just me doing a song, you can't really, do that as much. Like, obviously we'll check each other's stuff like before we upload it, but people, like, we can miss stuff too,
Totally.
So.
I mean, it is really important to try to tap into like the first listen ears.
Yeah.
Because as a songwriter, as a producer, as an engineer, you're never going to have that.
Right.
Like, if you're doing everything, by the time you're mixing and mastering, you've heard the song hundreds of times.
Right.
Like, actually hundreds of times.
Right.
And so you're never going to have the experience of listening to it the first time. Yeah. That's why I think it is powerful to like finish a song and then like maybe even give it a week before you listen to it again, before you upload it.
Yeah.
But I never do that, because once I'm done with the song, I'm like, let me get this out of here and then move on. But
yeah, exactly.
Like, getting in a headspace to where you listen to the song after not hearing it for days is super important, because then then you pick up on a bunch of different things. But I never do that.
Yeah. Well, even just on a smaller scale too, after listening to a song for, mixing it 6 hours out of the day, by the time that you reach the end of the day, you're not even hearing it the same at all anymore. Yeah. Like, the whole like ear fatigue thing is so real that like eventually I'll kind of, when you look at a word for long enough and you're like, is that really how milk is spelled? Like, that doesn't even seem right. Yeah. Like, that's kind of how I get with music, where I'm just listening to it and I'm like, this sounds like shit. What the hell? And then I come back to it like 6 hours later. I'm like, oh, it sounds fine. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah. It's an interesting human psychology thing, I think.
It is.
The brain is funny. It's a funny little thing.
Yeah, I wish I could like tap into somebody's, like, just steal somebody's body for a day and then listen to all my music for the first time and like see what my initial reaction is. It's probably like, this isn't very good.
Yeah. Or it's like, this is fine. Like, I'm not criticizing this as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing too. A lot of people that are actually listening to music are not like musicians or producers or whatever. They're just like normal people, and so they're hearing the music as like, this is the music. It's not like here's the drums and here's the bass and here's the percussion and here's the whatever, and there's these little mistakes going on in these things, and this has compression on it and reverb, and like, it's just, this is the sound. So they're not going to notice those small little nuanced things the way that you definitely would, or like a producer would.
You know what an interesting question is? If you were to go through your discography, I'm asking y'all too, I'm asking the Slodgers, if you were to go through your discography with another person's ears, you've never heard your music before, do you think you would be adding it to your playlists?
Yeah, that's a really good practice, honestly. Like, a lot of times, even during the streams, when people send in music, my first thought is like, this, you would not even listen to it. Like, you wouldn't like this if you heard it, which is such a, like, kind of a harsh reality to face, but it's so true. Like, even back in the day, like when I first started making music, there was a lot of songs where I was just fully aware of like, this is not good. Yeah. It's not up to par of where like anybody would just listen to this on their own. But I think it's so important to tap into that, because that's when you don't have that mindset, that's when you start to get this like Dunning-Kruger effect of like, my music's the greatest in the world and everybody likes it and it's amazing, but it's actually just like doesn't sound good at all. So that's a really good point. Just like thinking, is this music that people would actually listen to? Like, would you yourself actually listen to it?
Because I don't know. I mean, like, thinking of all my inspirations and their music, I'm obviously nowhere near as good as they are, or as good as, the team that helped make the song. Yeah. It's just me making this music, so it's obviously it's not gonna be as professional and as, can't find the word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. like polished and put together.
Exactly. But it is, the interesting thing is, it is 100% my taste.
Yeah.
So like, will that help me add it to the playlist? Just because I know exactly what I want to hear.
Right.
And that's always, I always follow that when I make music. I'm not making it for anybody to listen to. I'm making it for me to listen to, which I don't actually listen to my own music, but I just follow my own taste. I don't follow anybody else's. So I think I actually, like, especially some of my new songs, especially some of my Coleman Payne songs, I am confident that I'd probably add like maybe one or two of those songs. Yeah. Which is a pretty cool thought.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also the thing is, like, I would definitely say that about like your music and our music as well, because regardless of whether like we made the songs or not, like you said, that's a big factor. You know, the fact that it's literally exactly your taste in music. Like, you are curating your taste of all the things that you like exactly perfectly. But all those songs I listen to just like unironically, you know, just regularly anyways. Like 24/7, that song, I'm pretty sure that was one of my most played songs.
Really?
Yeah, that's song is really fucking good. And I wasn't even a part of that song. Like, it's just good. But then also, like, I was listening to Saturdays the other day. That song is like,
that's
incredible.
definitely the best Still Coleman song.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun to make it a Zoll song.
Yeah.
Because now that Zoll's more opened up to just drop music, I think that'd be fun if we that could be a cool YouTube video too, like recreating. Yeah. Because like just the melody, but at the same time, the heart and soul of that song is just the DIY feel.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like a lot of those things you can't really recreate because it's just so, that is the thing that it is, you know?
I mean, that was literally us. We bought that little frog toy at Goodwill.
Yeah, exactly. That was for that video.
That's unbelievable, that song.
And honestly, that's one of my favorite songs of ours. You know what I thought of? And this would be just a great video idea. And we can say this on here because it might get them hyped about it. We should do a video, either for my channel or your channel, or even maybe a Sound Lodge video, ranking Zoll and Feezo songs. And we do a tier list of every song that we've ever written and made together, and we rank them by our favorites.
We should do that this week.
I'm totally down to do that. Because
y'all want to see that?
Sick video. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, all the songs that we've written together.
Yeah.
And we've made together. Yeah. So like, even if I wrote a song and made it and then you just did drums, I feel like we shouldn't count that.
Yeah. I think it maybe depends on how many layers, because like Heavens, for example, like I love that song, and I did the drums for that song, but like I wouldn't say that's one of our songs. Like,
also the Coleman Payne songs, you did some of the layers, but like I wouldn't say that's both of our songs.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's definitely your thing.
The cool thing to think about is we have a lot of songs that we made together.
We do, and I think that's why it would be a really interesting video too, to actually go and see like all the songs that we actually have. I think there's definitely a couple like Still Coleman ones where like you have a couple like older songs that you just kind of randomly dropped that I did a bunch of the layers for, but also like didn't write really for. So yeah, I think definitely the ones that we just both wrote on. Yeah. Or just like we're actively heavily involved in.
That'd be Phases, Call My Name, and then that whole album that we Ghosted.
Yeah, Ghosted.
Safe and Sound.
Song 4.
Yeah. that we can't even count that. That was just you.
That was just a beat that I made.
That was so funny.
That was funny because we're like, shit, we need a 4th track. I guess I'll just make a beat.
Well, remember, I was planning on recording vocals for it, but I didn't have time. Yeah, we shouldn't have time. Because I was mixing all this. God, we are never doing that again, dude. We should do that again.
Wait, I was just going to say we should totally do that again.
Dude, I lost my mind. I remember I was mixing those songs with my like, what was I using my DT77? I don't think I was. I think I was using like Bluetooth headphones, mixing on your bed.
I think you had the nice headphones.
Yeah. Well, I had headphones on, mixing on your bed, and your friends were just walking around like we were trying to go to the bars. Yeah. And I was like, guys, we have to finish mixing and mastering. And then like everyone's talking, and I'm just like, that was so funny.
It was also like pouring rain too. Yeah. So we went to that bar. That was when the pool guy. That was so funny, man.
Yeah, we went to the bar and there's this one. We were just having a good time. It was 4 of us. Yeah. And we were just doing a little 2v2 pool, having a grand old time. Some guy walks in. If they walk in with their own pool cues,
he's got his own pool cue.
You know it's about to go down. Yeah. And he's like, it's 2v2. We're holding up the whole pool table. Yeah. And
mind you, there's like 2 other pool tables that this guy could just practice at. The bar is empty besides us, essentially.
Dude just sets up his like pool cue bag on the side of the wall, and then
he put it was like a screw, like pool cue. Like he screwed it together and then just puts the pool cue up doesn't touch it at all for the rest of the time.
Yeah, true.
He set it up, didn't touch it.
Yeah, didn't touch it. But when he first got there, I remember he propped it up, and then like out of the corner of all of our eyes, we just know he's trying to find a way to edge into the conversation. Like you can totally tell when someone's trying to get in there.
100%.
And then he finds a way. We're nice, and we're like, yeah, man, you can hop in. And then just the whole time giving us pool advice and just missing every shot.
He was just saying that he's like a pro pool player or whatever, and then he would just whiff every shot. And he's like, yeah, your bridge is all wrong. You got to set your bridge up differently, and like you got to really get low. You got to get low.
That was his main thing. You gotta get low. So he like gets super low and then shank the ball.
Yeah, and then I would get fucking low, and he's like, you're not low enough. You gotta get lower. And I'm like, dude, I can't get lower, man.
And then out of nowhere, he walks up to me. So do you think your dad loves you?
Yeah. He's like, is your dad proud of you? We're like, what the hell? Where did this shit come from? Just out of nowhere. The funniest thing to me about that whole experience was the guy being like, oh yeah, the place I usually go to play pool was closed tonight or something. And then Logan was like, I think he made it to the first place because the guy was visibly drunk. So yeah, that was quite an experience. But yeah.
And I remember I was working with like, we were both working with 10% brain capacity.
Oh yeah,
that whole night.
We had just spent the entire day we ate like a slice of pizza at 8 p.m. That was our only food for the day.
Yeah, if y'all haven't seen that video, y'all don't need to watch it.
Yeah, that's
Making
honestly
an album in a day.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos that we've done for sure. That'd be a good video too, ranking all of our videos that we've made.
Oh, that'd be really good. These are great sound lodge videos.
Yeah,
we should get into them because low effort. We can just talk into the camera. It'd be like a podcast basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we set up like this? Or like in front of the computer?
We can just do it in front of the computer because if we do a tier list, we can just do...
Yeah,
and it would kind of differentiate it from the podcast.
That'd be a fun video with different thumbnails. I like how we also made the same video for the album in the day one.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to find a way to get a different edge on it. And I just... What if this is like a sports game and there's announcers and stuff?
That was so fun though. Like I actually loved filming the little parts for that and everything. And it turned out really good actually. It was really cool.
I remember when I was huge into the green screen. I have a portable green screen. I haven't used it in I think a year and a half, but I used to use it a lot.
Yeah, I actually just thought about that because I've used the green screen a couple times. That was really the main time that I used it was for that video. But I think I left it back home in Chicago because I was like, I don't use this thing ever. So
it's also like kind of the opposite of my vibe for my videos now.
Yeah, very true. It's like that is like about as overproduced as you can get.
Exactly.
Like using a fucking green screen. So yeah,
I think you can totally use it in a cool way though.
100%.
If you like know it's a joke and you're like acting like it's a joke and you
100%.
put something funny in the background,
which is kind of the majority of the times that we use it. It's like for that. Like we're not putting like actual like trying to be cool green screen stuff behind us.
I think we can totally segue this into music we've been listening to because Finn Wolfhard, I don't know his name, but he's the Stranger Things guy. Not Joe, but
it's the
younger guy.
Yeah.
He just dropped a song and he made a music video in iMovie.
Really?
With the roller coaster thing. Cool. And it's a cool music. It's actually a really good song.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that. And then also, new band I found, French Kicks.
French Kicks?
Yeah.
Like
indie rock vibe.
Never heard of them.
They're pretty cool. So I've been listening to that. That new Finn song's pretty sick. That's a cool music video too.
That's dope. Does he make music or is that like his first one?
I think he was in a band.
Really?
Because I remember when I first heard about Joe, like it was like Stranger Things season 1. I somehow found out he made music, and then I also figured out Finn made music, but I think he was a part of a band. And then this was his first solo track. I could be totally wrong, but this was his first solo track. I could be wrong that he was part of a band. I think he was though. But
that's sick. That would make sense. I mean, if he's got like musical experience,
and it sounded good. Like it sounded like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, Finn, if you want to be on the podcast.
Yeah, that's gonna be our first guest. Yeah,
because I think he's watching and he wants to be invited, but he doesn't want to get
too shy to kind of say it. Yeah,
exactly.
I see how. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to come on the podcast, more than welcome.
As well as French Kicks, I think because they're probably watching too, and they're like, okay, Finn got the invite. Maybe this means that we're not getting the invite because we're choosing not to invite them.
Right.
But we are inviting.
Joe Keery is probably probably watching too. So
Joe, you're invited.
Yeah, you're invited.
Who else have we talked about?
Honestly, just anybody we've talked about. Open. This is an open invite to just kind of show up at our front door and just be on our podcast.
There's your mind will be blown because this is all green screen.
Yeah.
And this is everything around us is green screen.
It's all fake. Yeah.
So it'd be a bit of a culture shock.
Right.
We're actually like outside right now.
Yeah.
But once they get used to that, they'll probably.
Right. Yeah. We film these in the backyard. Where our sound quality is really good because we use really good noise cancellation.
We use AI
programs.
noise cancellation.
Yeah. We actually AI our voices and everything too.
Actually, we're also AI.
Yeah, we're just...
So it's green screen and AI. There's no reason to film the green screen because it's AI anyway. Everything's animated.
Right.
But it's just more fun when we just set up the camera and have it roll for an hour and 30 minutes of green screen.
Yeah, yeah. We just have that footage for no reason. And we shoot it every time too. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we do for the podcast. So it might be a little surprising, but you'll get used to our kind of formula and what we do around here.
You'll have to sign a few NDAs as well about various things that we won't get into.
Yeah.
But you'll learn once you get here.
Yeah, exactly. It's some pretty dark stuff, so it's best kept on paper, but yeah. So yeah, that's what we kind of do here. Wow, it's 78 degrees outside.
It's hot.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Nice weather. The first one I've been listening to a bunch is Elliott Smith. A ton of Elliott Smith.
Classic.
I've never really listened to Elliott Smith very much.
Really?
To be honest, yeah. I've heard a lot about him. I know a lot of people are big Elliott Smith fans. But I just never really delved into it. But yeah, his music's really good. And I heard his music and I immediately see where inspiration for so many other people comes from. Yeah. Because just so many things are inspired by him. So
yeah, I have a lot of Elliott Smith and then Nick Drake.
Yeah.
Like I just go back to both of them a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, so Nick Drake is one of my favorite artists. I haven't listened to him in so long.
Yeah.
He's one of those artists I like. I'll just have a little month kick, phase. And then I won't listen to him for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time I go back, I'm like, this is the best music ever made.
Yeah, that's how I am with the majority of artists. The only one that's the exception to that is Far Caspian. Like, he's the only one that I will just consistently listen to. Yeah. Like, it's just a constant phase. But yeah, so Elliott Smith. And then I also just listened to that Party Next Door Drake album. Not good. Have you heard the song?
Dude, funny thing is, I had no clue it dropped.
Dude, have you heard the song where he's rapping in Spanish?
No.
It is like actually the worst thing I've ever heard. Like, it is so unbelievably bad. Really? I can't even believe like somebody greenlit that song and let him put that out. It's so
bad Spanish.
Like, yes, and just bad song. I have to play it for you right now because it's just honestly the other music that I've been listening to. Just the same kind of run of the mill stuff I usually, like Fog Lake and like.
Yeah, I haven't heard any new music recently.
I try to stay up to date on it, to be honest. Like, I try to listen to new stuff that comes out. I don't for the sake of doing it.
I don't listen to any. Well, sometimes I do, but I rarely listen to new music from artists that I don't follow. Like, I only stay up to date with artists that I follow, but I follow a lot of artists. So like, every Friday I get a bunch of new music from artists that I do follow, but like. I had no clue Drake just dropped an album.
Yeah, I will see it sometimes on certain like Instagram posts or like whatever. So if I see a new album that came out and like people are talking about it, like I'll see it. Same thing with sometimes like movies or whatever. Like that, if a lot of people are talking about it, like I'll watch it just to see like what the hype's all about and everything. But yeah, I don't really listen to a whole lot of new music.
You recently watched No Country for Old Men for the first time?
I did. That was really good. I gave it a 5-star on Letterboxd.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Dude, one of top 4 movies of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, like I think Wes said this, but it was such a kind of calming but also chaotic movie. Like I love how there's no soundtrack. Yeah. And it's just you kind of feel like you're there and like really experiencing
I don't think I realized that the first time I watched it. And then when we watched it this time, Cole mentioned it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, there is no soundtrack. Yeah. And it definitely has that. But I love... There
was a couple points when there was like a little like string or like there was like some sort of like swell or something and I would really notice that because I was looking for it. But yeah, for the majority of it, there was no like actual songs in there.
Yeah. We should do favorite movies of all time. If y'all want us to answer that, you should ask in the... Yeah. Ask it in the Discord.
Or any other questions you got in the Discord you ask them to?
Dude, you know what we should talk about? We got some new releases.
We do. What are they?
We dropped 2 new Sound Lodge shirts.
We do.
We were going to drop these 2 hats because look, we got hats over here that y'all never see ever. Yeah. Because our distributor sucks. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. We love them because we don't want them to stop doing it. But it's rally cap time.
Stop doing it.
We got our rally caps on. So, yeah, guys, we got 2 new shirts. Now, the shirts, because as you know, we're not going to put anything on Sound Lodge that we don't think is quality.
Yeah, which is why you'll never see these because...
And why we dropped, $50 plus for both of these and waited 3 weeks to drop this merch line because we were in preparation to make some trucker hats, and I don't think we're going to do them this time around. But the shirts are great quality.
High quality, 100%
great quality.
Cotton t-shirt. These are just like really good t-shirts in general. And I feel like after you wash them a couple times too, they get even more of like kind of a vintage kind of washed feel to them.
Exactly. No. And I think
cool.
I think they're great.
Yeah.
So the 2 designs, I really love the 2 designs. Your mountain design is so cool.
Thank you.
And then my fish design is
super cool.
Even cooler.
Yeah, it is.
But I like how they're new designs. So we got a little frocket design for the fish one on the front and then big design on the back. And the coolest thing about the mountain design t-shirt is that we got a little logo on the sleeve, which actually turned out super cool.
Yeah, I love the way that looks. It just looks very like professional. Really cool. So yeah, those are available now on soundlodge.net.
Great way to support us.
Totally.
So if you enjoy these podcasts, I mean, a great way to support us is to get our packs, to get our lectures and stuff, and
just watching the podcast.
Yeah, and just watching the podcast.
Sticking around, being here.
I think the merch is probably the best way to support us that you get value out of.
Totally.
Because you support us and then you also get like some really cool merch that we believe is very cool and we take a lot of time.
And you get to walk around with the Sound Lodge shirt and people will be like, what's that Sound Lodge thing you got on your shirt? And you'll be like, it's just like the coolest freaking podcast ever. And then they're like, oh, that's cool. I should check that out. And then you send them a QR code of our podcast.
Yep. Every slodger should have a QR code in their pocket at all times, directly linking to the podcast.
Like a business card.
Yep.
That just links to the podcast.
We should make business cards and make them free, and then everyone buys them, and
yeah. That free, but everybody buys them.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's what we should do.
I agree. I think we should just make a bunch of Slodge business cards and just hand them out to random folks in the street. It just
Dude, Slodge is catching on in my head.
It is. It rolls off the tongue nicely.
It really rolls off the tongue nicely.
Yeah.
Most people will think you're, saying something oddly non-appropriate. In I think every context you use the word.
Yeah, you hear that and you're like, that's just like a strange word.
Yeah. You get a little goosebumps, a little kind of scoots you back in the back of your chair.
Right.
But the cool thing is that we stay slodging.
We stay slodging up in here. That's what we do, man.
We should make a t-shirt where it's stay slodging, and then it's like the 2 buff guys doing the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Handshake.
Yeah.
Stay slodging.
I agree. That's our next shirt design. If you guys want to see that shirt design, leave a comment.
That would actually be funny if we made it. Just like a total joke design. No. But maybe. Stay slodging.
Let us know. If you guys want to see that, leave a comment below in the comments that says, I want to see that shirt. And then it has the muscle arm emoji.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 muscle
arm handshake emoji, muscle arm.
Yeah, exactly. And end quotes.
So go cop some merch if you want. If not, totally chill, guys. Totally chill. It's just that we do bi-monthly purges to where every 2 months, if you don't have the merch, you won't be able to watch the podcast.
Yeah. You just get banned from the Sound Lodge.
So you don't have to, get the merch.
Right. But if you want to keep watching the podcast, then you do have to get the merch. Actually.
Yeah, because our podcast is totally worth your time.
Yeah.
And we don't waste your time at all. So
yeah, we haven't just rambled for the last 30, 40 minutes anyways.
Guys, usually we pick out comets in the sky.
Yeah. They kind of just float around in my head. I imagine them and I just go, wow, that's a good one.
No, usually we pick out comments. Questions. I mean, I'm all over the place, man.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Usually we pick them out before the podcast, but I think this one we're just going to wing it. So
yeah, this one we're just going to wing it because some guy was mowing his lawn for the last 4 hours outside, so we couldn't even film. I don't know why he needed it. No one's yard in this neighborhood is that big where you need to be mowing your yard for that long. But hey, teach their own. Maybe he really cares about his yard. Maybe he hates his wife. Maybe his wife hates him. So that's his only way to get out of the house. Yeah, it's just mow the lawn for 4 hours a day. So that's why we kind of started this podcast episode a little bit late, so we weren't able to get as prepared as we normally are. Because we're always so prepared.
Yeah, we're usually so prepared.
Yeah, generally, on most cases.
Now, ask questions in the Discord in the channel Ask Us Questions, and I would also just go through that channel and react to questions that you like, because, like I said earlier, it's a bit of a Redditor system.
Right.
And it's kind of like upvoting. But if you don't know about that, then don't get into the Redditor thing, because you're too late. You're too late.
Yeah, too late to the party.
Too late.
But
to the
I mean,
party.
for all you like peasant people, like me, I don't really understand Reddit or anything that kind of thing. It's kind of just like Instagram, like likes. When you press a little heart.
Not at all.
Like, oh yeah.
Don't ever
Yeah.
compare it to likes.
Okay, yeah, sorry. It's not like that. Never mind.
It's not like anything.
It's totally different. It's its own thing. It's its own system of feedback.
Milady. All right. First question of this episode. What would be your death row meal from götze?
Poison.
I'm taking this by my own hands.
Yeah.
You can't kill me.
You're not going to get me. I want rat poison. Give me a bunch of rat poison and I'm going to eat that and then I'll die before you can put me in electric chair.
Or you're never going to get me. My death row meal is a drink from the fountain of youth.
Yeah. Yeah. I would actually like to eat the meal of eternal everlasting life. So, what are you going to do about that? And you have to give it to me.
It's my death row meal.
Yeah.
No, mine would be a steak.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like a real good steak.
Yeah, like a
with
filet.
Some loaded potatoes. Also some French fries. Also
some French fries.
Also some hash browns. Also some potato wedges.
Just every form of potato. You got like 6 plates of every way you can make potatoes.
Yeah, no, definitely a steak though.
Yeah, steak and potatoes that's the best meal there is, man. Let me think. Honestly, I'd probably go with a steak too, to be honest. I'd probably go with like you said, a nice steak. Maybe a couple steaks. Maybe
how do you like your steak cooked?
Maybe different. Oh, whatever the way that you're supposed to cook it, like medium rare, whatever.
Whatever the normal way is.
Whatever.
I'm not a freak.
Whatever I'm supposed to say. I like mine charred to a crisp. I like it to where you can't even cut through it properly. No, this is actually the way that I like my steak. I don't know how you people do it, but when I'm making steak, you get a nice pan put some butter in the pan, nice and hot, very, very hot pan. And then, boom, 3 to 4 minutes on one side, flip, 3 to 4 minutes on the other side, boom, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes on each of the little edges, and let it sit for like 5 minutes. That's your steak right there. You don't need anything crazy, anything fancy. Just sear the outsides or whatever, and then it'll be nice and pink on the inside, and all the juices. That's the main thing. You got to let it sit after you cook it, because if you just chop it open right away, all those juices will spill out everywhere. So you just got to let it sit and let it absorb those juices back in there, and that's how you make the perfect steak. And that's what I do.
Slouger.
Slouch it up, man.
He's a slouger.
I'm a slouger.
We know he's a slouger.
You know me?
Yeah, I'd like a nice steak, and I'd like to cook it.
Yeah, I want to be able to cook my own steak. Like one of those like Korean barbecue places where you get to cook all your own food. That's what I want, actually.
I love those places.
I want them to take me to one of those Korean barbecue places so I can try to escape. I want like my meal has to be whatever it is in a restaurant. Take me to a Denny's. I want to go to a Denny's and I'll fight my way out.
So I can grab a random mom with her family and hold her hostage and then try to get out of the situation.
Just hold her ransom with like one of those like butter knives just like at her throat.
Y'all got pranked. I actually don't want to eat here.
I'm not going out easy. They just shoot me in the face. Yeah, so that's my death row meal.
Either that or one sip of the fountain of youth, please.
Yeah. Or I don't know, just a fucking cheeseburger.
one McDonald's cheeseburger.
And just a Big Mac. Give me a Big Mac, man.
I don't even want to be here anymore. Just get it over with.
I don't even want to be around anymore. Just give me a hot dog. Yeah, so that's my death row meal.
Hopefully that answers your question, götze. And what would be your death row meal, Slodger? Answer in the comments.
Answer in the comments below. If you have a death row meal that you would like to have, leave a comment that says, hey, this is my death row meal, and then explain what your death row meal is, and then emoji of the skull,
Yep.
And emoji of just some random food. Any food that you like. There's a lot of food emojis.
I can answer this one quickly. Götze says celebrity crush, Kevin Hart. And moving on. Purpy says, is there such a... Okay, Purpy says, is there such a thing as a true genre when making your music?
Basically, like, is he trying to say, like, when you're making a genre, should you be like, this has to sound specifically like rock music?
Or should you just follow your own taste?
Yeah, follow your own taste. Next question.
Yeah. Don't definitely... I think as a producer, it can be hard when you're like, I want my song to be playlisted. I want people to recognize me and like appreciate the art that I'm making instead of just making my own kind of thing.
True. But the problem is the audience should come last when you're making art.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, if you're so worried about that, if you're worried about like, oh, I got to have my songs like place on, Fresh Finds, folk or whatever, which we did. Yeah, no big deal. But
which, we were on there for a week.
We got like 10K plays from that. But if you want your song to land on like a specific playlist or whatever, you're going to just start making music that is just super cookie cutter and just sounds exactly like everybody else's music. And no artist that you can think of has ever gotten big or ever gotten like popular from just making the music that other people make. So just make whatever you make. Like, do you really think that the Beatles were like, we have to make a specific type of genre? Like, we have to make 60s garage rock when we're making our music. No, they just made music. Same with Nirvana. Like, they're not like, we have to specifically craft this sound so that we can create grunge. It's like, dude, no, they're just making music. So just make music and then you'll be legendary like those guys.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's also really fun to try to combine genres.
Totally.
And when you do that, then you're totally not following any rules. Because you're like, I want the drums to be a little folky, but I want the guitar to be more poppy.
Right.
And like, don't ever try to just make one genre.
No.
Like,
I mean, unless you're making like type beats or something.
Exactly.
Like,
unless someone says like, hey, I'm actually looking for a funk beat.
Right.
Then like, okay, like really try to make a funk beat.
Yeah. But if you're making your own art, like just make whatever you feel like making.
Exactly. That is a good question, Purpy, but
that is.
Just make whatever you want to make. And naturally, it will have parts of the genres that you appreciate. Okay. Eli says, what platform do you use to sell sound packs online? Also, I'm for sure going to grab your new drum pack, Feezo.
Thank you.
Yo, Eli's a sloucher.
He's a sloucher for real, bro.
Much love.
I be seeing him on the stuff. Actually, I recognize a lot of people's names when I see him pop up in the comments or on whatever, and I'm like, he's a real one.
Yeah, no, totally. It is really cool. We use Shopify.
Yeah.
Shopify's the best.
Yeah, Shopify's good.
Except when you have a website like SoundLodge where you're being charged $40 a month to keep it up and you're not making any profits.
Yeah.
Then it's like maybe we should have used a free distributor.
Yeah.
But other than that, Shopify's pretty legit.
Yeah, so on that topic, we have new merch available.
And we also have 3 lectures. No.
Yeah. Guys, please give us your money because we need it.
Staying true to that topic, this is actually now, you have to pay for this episode.
Yeah.
And if you've watched for more than 20 minutes, you have to pay for this episode.
Yeah, your bank account will be instantly charged. So, just so you know. Yeah, what was the question? Oh, yeah, so sound packs. We both have individual websites that we have made through Shopify, as Coleman was saying. But I also had sold originally sound packs through TrackTrain. And TrackTrain is where I sell all my beats through. And TrackTrain's a really good website for that as well. I think better than BeatStars because BeatStars is...
Really?
Yeah.
Caleb uses BeatStars.
Don't use that shit.
I used to use BeatStars.
It's just the most popular one, so that's what everybody uses. But there's a lot of like weird stuff that they do. Like business practices that are just kind of like shady as a company. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm just talking on my ass.
Do your own research is what we're saying.
Yeah, guys, don't believe anything that just some two guys that made a podcast on the internet tell you. Unless they're us. Everything that we say should be taken as 100% fact, and nothing that we ever say is a joke or unserious in any way. It's always 100% serious. So if you ever hear us say anything, we 100% mean that and stand by that, and that will never change.
Which leads us into, we're actually launching our own NFT. So we're going to ask everyone to put at least $500 into the NFT. It's called the Slodge coin. So put at least $500. We're not going to pump and dump.
Yeah.
We promise. Look, we're even shaking hands with each other, meaning we are not.
We're not.
We will never. Wait, no, we need to put this behind our back.
Yeah.
we'll never pump and dump the Slodge coin.
No.
So
it's a legit meme coin.
It's a legit meme coin.
Cryptocurrency.
Coin's better.
Yeah.
It's a legit crypto. The Slodge coin. So
Slodge coin.
At least $500. That's just gonna help launch us.
Right.
Us as in not you and I.
Yeah.
As in,
not make us a bunch of money, and then you never see us again. We fall off the face of the planet. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean us as in the Slodgers, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
So yeah, there will be a link in the description of this episode with the link to the Slodge coin NFT.
Right.
And you might be confused. It is a picture of a walrus, just like a it was like a Nokia phone picture of a walrus. So that might
it says Getty Images over it.
Yeah,
yeah.
That might be a little confusing, but that is the coin. So the one with the walrus. Slodge coin.
Right.
We will not pump and dump.
No. Never done that before.
Nope. I remember when I actually used to get pretty heavy into NFTs when it first started launching. And I was like Web3 and everything. And that was when crypto got huge right after my bedroom pop video blew up. That's the only video that's ever blown up for me. My mobile tutorial, I guess you could say that blew up. It was very slow though.
Yeah, over time.
That's my hugest video I have right now. But the bedroom pop one got like 100K views in like 5 days.
Yeah, that's insane.
Actually, that's a lie. I think it was pretty slow, but it was huge to me. I remember like seeing 10K and I was like, dude, I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
But like that video blew up and I started taking YouTube more seriously right when NFTs and crypto blew up. And I was like,
this is the new wave.
Exactly.
I remember watching a bunch of those videos too. I remember watching a BusyWorks Beats video where he was like, this is the new wave for producers is NFTs. And I was like, what the hell? This is kind of weird. And like, I remember researching it because I was also at that time like, is this a thing that I should hop on? And then it absolutely died in like a week after that. So glad we didn't do that.
It lasted a little bit longer, and it's still like it's still huge, you know?
Yeah.
It's just to the extent people had so many dreams. I remember the metaverse was huge, and then it was just the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of empty lobbies. So yeah, crypto. Slodge coin.
Slodge coin. Check it out.
Cop it.
Make us a bunch of money from the Slodge coin.
Us as in?
All of us together.
Yep.
We're going to make a lot of money.
Eli4 says, when are you playing live again? I am deathly afraid of speaking in public, let alone singing in public. So hope that answers your question.
Yeah. It can actually be a really good way to get into the local music scene and boost your local fan base.
We should actually answer this question.
Yeah.
When are we playing live again? Should I sign up for an open mic right now?
Yeah. Right now on the recording.
Let's do it.
I don't even think you need to sign up for an open mic.
And here we go, making excuses because he's flicking scared.
I'm just saying, I think you can just show up. Can't you just show up to like open mics?
Oh, it looks like there's no open mics in Oklahoma.
Oh, what the heck?
That sucks. There's literally a law that bans open mics in Oklahoma.
Yeah. There's a law that bans us from leaving our house? What? What the heck?
What is this thing on my ankle?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. Why is it beeping so much?
And that's why we can't do open mics. So
yeah, because we're gonna say something crazy up there, crazy and wild. When are we performing live next? I'm whenever, honestly.
We need to make more songs.
Yeah, we definitely need to make more songs. That's a good answer.
We were talking about Park Rangers earlier.
Yeah, we were, and how we're gonna be going hard with Park Rangers. I think after my little album thing comes out, and I finish the video, and we just finish all the other various things that we're working on. I think it's going to be a lot easier to get working on Park Rangers again. Because we got a lot of songs that we got in the vault that we just haven't produced yet. But I'm excited to get into that and start getting into Park Rangers again.
Yeah. No, we got a lot of songs.
We do. A lot of good songs, too. And I think also our songs, the new songs that we will write will be like even better, too. It's probably going to be like...
Oh, yeah.
I am predicting, I'm going to foresee the future that it's going to be some of the best songs we've ever made.
I agree. I mean, dude, the next song we're going to make is going to actually be the best song ever.
Yeah.
Fire Escape.
Yeah.
We need to make that song before it just turns into like, this song actually sucks.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a chance that happens.
Yeah, true. But that song is really good. But yeah, once we could get more songs out there for Park Rangers... we've got a good amount of songs. Like we were saying earlier, we got a good amount of songs already. But once we get some more Park Ranger songs going, I think we're going to have a nice little set list of songs that we can play live. Yeah. Also, it'd be nice to have a little band going on, too.
Yeah, we need... Send in some videos of yourselves in your bedrooms playing your instruments.
Yeah.
And send that to us, and we'll have a little tryout. Send it to put it in the Discord and be like, "This is my submission to be."
Yeah.
And then say the instrument player.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually. If you play any instruments, specifically bass or drums.
Mm-hmm. And please don't send in singing videos because you'll most likely be better than me, and I don't want my job to be taken.
Yeah. If you send in a singing video, we're gonna ban you.
Yeah.
Also, if you send in a video of you playing guitar and you're better than me, we're gonna ban you.
If you play any lead guitar in your video, you will be banned.
But if you sing and you're not as good as Coleman, or if you play guitar and you're not as good as me, then you'll be fine. We can leave you in there. You won't be chosen for the band, but we'll leave your video up and let you stay in the Discord. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where we're at. Right now.
So just don't be good.
Yeah, don't be good.
But if you play bass or other instruments, we want you to be good.
Yeah. Now, that's Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. I think that might be law of power number 1 is never outshine the master. Mm-hmm. So take that advice, guys.
So take it slow. So sing poorly when you send in your submission tape, and then slowly just like corner Felix while I'm out of the room and be like, "Hey man, did you hear about what Coleman said to those people outside? Like, I think is he on meds or something?" Right. And then start spreading rumors about how I'm kind of slowly losing my mind.
Sow
and then
the seeds of doubt. And
then get to the studio early before Felix gets there, and like really plan it to where only Felix gets there first, and take a shower and sing really loud. And then kind of like the elf scene, you'll walk in and you'll be like, "Who is singing?"
Yeah.
And then you'll get out of the shower, you'll have clothes on, and you'll be like, "Felix, I'd like to be lead singer." Or maybe don't. Maybe would that be better for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be more convinced if you had no clothes on.
Felix, I'd like the lead singer role. I have
full nude. I'd like the lead singer role.
Coleman has been sent to a insane asylum. I'd like the lead singer role.
Yeah, we've got him committed this morning. Yeah, so if you whatever, I don't even know.
What are we? This episode, I think this might be my favorite episode we've ever made.
Yeah, we say just a lot of nothing in this episode.
I'm not even joking. I love this.
Me too. I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. And if you hate it, then we'll never do one like this again.
Yeah.
But if you like it, let us know. If you like us goofing and gaffing.
Or if you hate it, let us know in the comments below. Say, like, I didn't really like this episode, and so we know so we can ban you.
Let us know. I wish it showed who disliked videos.
Yeah. We need a dislike counter and like on Instagram where you can see who likes a photo. Same kind of vibe where you can see who likes or dislikes a YouTube video.
Animai says, "Would you ever invite a guest to your podcast?"
Fannie Mae. That's like the... chocolates, right?
I think they're doing like a play on Animai.
Oh, I was thinking of Fannie Mae, which is the chocolate company. Or I think so.
You're not taking this podcast seriously. I just noticed. I'd like you to take it as I'm wearing 2 hats.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? I'd like you to take this podcast more seriously.
Yeah, I think you're not that serious about this podcast as I am. I think you're kind of goofing around, and I don't really like that, honestly.
No, we'd love to have some guests. Who would be your favorite guest?
Just out of anybody in the world.
Let's do that. That's fun.
I think it'd be cool to have Leon Michaels, the guy who produced Claire's album, because I just really want to know about like how he gets his sound, because his sound is such a sound.
Yeah.
So that's one that'd be cool. Also, Far Caspian would be awesome to have in podcast. Also, just like Daywave would be cool.
Yeah.
And like any other real indie artist like that, I'd love to hear just kind of their insights on a lot of the stuff that we experience as well, just like being indie artists and like how they deal with it and that kind of thing. So I think that'd be really interesting.
I agree.
Mark Cuban, we would just hound him and ask him for $1 million.
Yep.
She's like, it's not that much money to you. You could spare $1 million.
If you're not gonna take the $100 million, we'll settle for 50, because that's what you do. You shoot high, land low.
Exactly.
And then if he says 50 million, and then we're like, okay. All we need is $50 to get these new teasers.
Yeah. Honestly, $50, Mark. That's all I'm asking right now.
We gotta get these new
Mark
teasers
for $50.
Yeah. He's like, okay, he's like, here, man.
Yeah, he pulls out of his wallet.
No, seriously.
Thanks,
I mean, I'd be down to have really any. We've said a bunch of artists who like we'd love to collab with, like Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be great to have on the podcast too.
Yeah, he was on Emma Chamberlain's. Emma Chamberlain would be fun to have on. Like, I think YouTubers too, people who don't even make music. Really, anybody that's artistic.
Role model would be sick.
Role model would be sick.
He's just a cool dude.
Yeah, you just finished an album. I guess we already kind of heard where you're at. Are you still foggy? Are you clearing up? Are you cranking out? You just dropped a new video with the Serum Bank.
Serum, that was a pretty quick one. It took me like a day to drop that. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out and let people, because I made that in the midst of doing the whole album thing, so I didn't really have time to even like tell people that I dropped the Serum thing. So it sat on my website for like a week and like no one even knew about it. So, yeah, I think once I finish the video for the album, then I'll be fully like I'm severed of it. Yeah. I definitely also want to keep promoting it after it's out for a little bit too. But for the majority of it, like I've just been doing so much stuff for the album that like that's all I can focus on right now. But I am, because I've been locked in that mode for so long, I am very eager to get into park rangers and stuff now too. Yeah. And also I just really want to put out just more YouTube videos in general too. So I think I want to just focus on, like, I have a few different ideas for things I want to do, and just kind of the more like real content that people have kind of like shown us that they like seeing. So just doing some more videos like that, and just working on park rangers hardcore, because I think we got some really good songs. We have a lot of really good potential with park rangers, so I want to really get into that. So that's how I'm feeling.
I agree.
What about you? Where are you at?
I remember at the start of the year we talked about how we want to focus on just dropping way more music. Yeah. And I mean way more videos. Yeah. And we were focusing more on quantity rather than quality. And I think for a week I did that. Yeah. And then I instantly made a song and I was like, I think this needs to be the best song I've ever made. Yeah. So that didn't really work out. But I will say I am working on 5 different, I think four different YouTube videos at the same time, and then working on 3 different songs at the same time, because Share the Stars, Exit Signs, and then Cool Song. Right. So I'm working on like so many different things at once, where I think for the past like week and a half, I felt like I have made no progress. Yeah. And after my album video that kind of popped off, I feel like part of me thought I need to seize this moment and like make another YouTube video. Totally should have done that. But for some reason, I felt like I don't want this to change the way that I'm doing things.
True, which I feel like is a better way to go about it. Just keep doing the thing that got you there in the first place. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You're just making the video just to make it.
Exactly. The video popped off because I didn't really care about that stuff. Totally. So for me to like have the video pop off and then instantly make another video and slowly get back into like taking YouTube way more seriously, then that's like kind of the opposite of why that video did well in the first place. Right. And I'm just so blessed that video did well, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my YouTube channel. So I dropped that road trip video, which again, just following what I want to make. And, you know, it was like a 9 out of 10, but I love that video. And I think having it up is really cool. And then my next like 3 videos are really cool. We have that, remember when we made that song? The one where we turned into like a electronic beat? Oh yeah. I'm actually working on 4 songs at once. Yeah. So like I have that one, which that video is so fun, because we were just having a good time.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
The Cole video, so fun. We were just having a good time. And then I'm working on 2 other YouTube videos. So
yeah, that's a lot of content.
I'm just like stacked. Yeah. And I feel like I'm making no progress. Right. Which sucks. And I feel like I do run into this problem so often as a content creator and someone who makes music, where it just takes a long time to do all this stuff. Yeah, I agree. And I want to drop a bunch more videos, so I'm working on like 4 videos at once, which is me working on more YouTube videos, but they're taking so long because I'm working on everything at once. Right. So I don't even know if I'm making YouTube videos quicker. Yeah. It's just so weird.
Yeah, but I think also at the end of the day, the way that you can look at it is like, you don't drop videos for like a few months at a time, but you have 4 videos like ready to go in the chamber. So those videos will be out eventually, even if they take a little while to get out, but they will come out. So I think that is on a better track of like working on no videos at one particular time, you know? Yeah. So like just knowing that you are actually working on stuff is a better feeling than knowing that you don't really have anything going on. I that's kind of like, it's a hard thing, because that's how I felt with working on the album too. I was like, dude, I just like feel like I'm getting nowhere with some of these things. Like when I was doing the visualizer, it was like I have a 26-minute video to like chop and splice all the clips to where they're like line up with the music and all this stuff. And I just like spent like 3 days on it, and I was getting nowhere. I'm like, is this even worth making a video for? But I mean, all those things, like, they add up. And I think you you get out what you put in a lot of time.
Yeah.
So like if you're working hard on a bunch of different things, it's gonna come back to you, but it just does take time. Like with anything with creative stuff or YouTube or whatever. But I definitely want to get to that point as well where I'm, like we talked about, just dropping more videos. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at now too. Like once I get this album video out, I have a bunch more video ideas that I think would be cool, and I want to just start filming those and working on those, because I just remember how fun it is to like work on something where like I enjoy working on it, and I'm like passionate about it, because that's how it was with the album, and then that's kind of now how it is with the little documentary thing. Like I'm doing it in a way where I think it's really cool, and regardless of whether people think it's cool or it's the usual way I make videos or not, it doesn't really matter to me. And that's like how you make the best art, I feel like, is by just staying true to what kind of makes you feel fulfilled. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for both of us to not be working on albums.
Yeah,
and
not
like,
having like a huge project that is like taking up all your time.
Well, I think we will have huge projects, but having it together, you know, and getting back into that. Because I remember at the start of the year, we did plan to like, we had a bunch of ideas and like new ways we're going to tackle YouTube and all this stuff.
Right.
And then you started making the album, which I'm so glad you did. And I was the same way with my album. So like, I think it is really cool that we both have these solo projects that we're really proud of, and like are both really good.
Right.
And then now we're going to be like doing park ranger stuff, and I think also just working really heavily on Sound Lodge. Like we need to make Sound Lodge profitable.
Yeah.
Like I hate talking about money and all that stuff, but I want to keep this podcast alive. I want to keep the website up. I don't want to have to pay $40 a month to keep it up.
Yeah.
So like just having a few interactions with the website and just to keep it alive would be great.
Yeah.
And Sound Lodge is going to go crazy. Like the Slodgers, we're going to unite, you know?
Yeah,
it's going to take some time, but I'd like to spend some more time on it. And I think just also with summertime rolling around, I think it's going to be awesome with this new chapter coming together. And then like also like going to the park, throwing the Frisbee, like getting back into that vibe. Because I remember we were a lot more like on the same page when we did that often. Right. So like I'm ready to start doing that more, just going outside and just taking more trips and stuff. But
yeah, totally.
I've just been in such like, I'm working on 6 different projects all in my bedroom, and I feel like I'm not making progress, because I'll make like 20% progress on one thing, and then the next day I'll be like, I don't really want to work on that. I want to work on this other thing, and then I'll make 20% progress on that, and then.
Yeah, I'm honestly like excited to not have something that is like taking up all of my focus, all of my creative focus at one time, because like it'll be really nice to be able to have like a park ranger song that we're working on, but also be able to like work on a video as well, and like have different options of things, because it's been for like probably the past half month now, just straight up there is one thing that I am doing only all day. It's just the work that I need to do for this album, and I'm sure that's how it felt with you when you had your album too. It was like I am just only doing the things for the album and nothing else. So like being able to kind of clear up your space to like work on more things is that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's really cool, and it's kept like I think both of us sane and on the same page having this weekly podcast.
100%.
Like choosing to do a weekly podcast was the best idea I think 100%. We've had in a while.
I agree.
And I just love this podcast. I love the Slodgers. I love all of y'all. I love all of these projects we're working on.
Totally.
And yeah, I just think having some kind of regiment. Like not like a daily regiment where we have to go for a walk, we have to go swimming. Like we tried to do that and it didn't work. But just having this one thing every Tuesday,
I agree.
We do this thing, and it's just having that. We literally only have that right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's great to have that. I think a cool idea could be talking about having some kind of like schedule with park rangers too, kind of like National Forest, where he does like a song a week. I think that'd be a lot to tackle, but just having some way to have some other one more scheduled piece, I think would be nice, and it would still allow a lot of open room to work on other projects.
Yeah, totally. I agree. I think definitely it's been nice having the podcast, because I'll be just locked in absolute gremlin mode for like a week straight, like barely even leave my room, like eat dinner at like 10 o'clock at night. And then this is kind of like a little reset, you get to just like chill, like talk about whatever. So it's definitely nice to have this. And I agree, having some sort of like just day that we work on Park Rangers music, or like we set aside like a couple hours or something to just work on Park Rangers. That'd be really nice too.
I think we're going to wrap that up, boys.
Yep.
Slodgers.
Stay slodging, everybody.
No, for real, guys. Stay slodging.
Slodge it up.
Keep your heart attached to where you want to go, and don't ever let it rip apart,
right,
or separate. And if you're driving, listening to this podcast, I saw someone was listening to it on a road trip. They tagged you. It's like, I hope you crashed listening to our podcast. Like, I hope you were just so in the moment of like listening to our voices that it like soothed you to sleep. I don't hope you crashed. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it. I hope you veered off the road and then you heard the when you got on the little
treadmill. Like, oh shit, yeah.
And then you pulled back in. I just hope that we have that kind of effect on people.
Right. Yeah, I hope you were going like 95 miles an hour, just so engaged in the podcast that you crashed into the median and died and killed like a family of 4 in the car across from you. So yeah, I hope that's really kind of the vibe that we bring to the Slodge podcast, is that just it kind of entrances you, if you will, you know? It's kind of unsafe to listen to while driving, I think, because we're just so entrancing.
There goes my heroes.
Watch him as he goes.
And we're your heroes.
We are. And if you don't tell people in your real life that we're your heroes, we will know.
And Leia, next interview you're at to get a job and they say, who do you look up to? And you don't say the Slodgers?
Yeah. You don't show them this podcast, we're going to have a real problem. That's actually how you get hired at any job.
So who do you look up to? The Slodgers. I'm sorry, who are the...
It's like, the what? What did you just say to me?
Oh, you're not a Slodger? I will never work in this establishment.
Yeah. You just get up and walk out of the Chipotle. Yeah, so stay slodging.
I am dreaming of the day where one of you will be walking around with a Sound Lodge piece of merch and another random person will walk up to you and say, you're a Slodger?
Yeah, keep it slodging.
If that ever happens, let us know immediately. We will bring you on the podcast. We'll FaceTime you, and you will share your story. I think that will be the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah, that would actually be like one of the most beautiful moments to ever exist. You just see the Slodge podcast shirt, and you're like, wow, that guy's a Slodge.
And if something like that happens, like if you see somebody with a Slodge shirt, and you're the one who says that, walk up to them, say, you're a Slodger, dap them up, keep walking.
Yeah.
It's like, don't ruin the moment.
Yeah. No. Just let them sit with it, let them marinate in it a little bit.
And then they'll probably stand still and be like, wow, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not alone out there.
It's not just me listening to these 2 freaks online.
Yeah. That guy's a freak too.
Slouges.
Just keep it slodging, guys.
Yeah, keep it slodging. We'll drop that piece of merch soon.
Yeah. Stay slodging with actually it depends on how many comments we get that say, I would like to see the stay slodging or whatever the hell I said earlier.
Yeah. There's no way you're matching that one.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, how many comments we get that says the thing that I said earlier?
Yep. And yeah, that's episode 18.
1/4 of 72.
Bang.